It was a 12-kegger party, or so they said to me as I walked into the restaurant late one afternoon. It was Concha's niece's 21st birthday party. It was also St. Patrick's Day. As I made my way through the thick crowd of people, I noticed Mr. Mendoza standing over by the cash register near the glass countertop. "Hey, Mr. M, how's it going? How have you been?" I asked him, pushing my way through the thick mass of people. "Pete," he replied, "I've been doing fine. And how have you been?" "Fine, thanks." "That's good to hear. No bad tidings to bear." He raised his coffee cup up to his lips and took a long sip. "What's going on here? I don't recognize any of these people." "That's because most of them are not from around here. Most of them are Concha's relatives from Mexico. The rest are her friends from Mexico. It's her niece's 21st birthday today, so they're celebrating it here in the restaurant. They have chips and beer over there," he said, pointing towards the entrance. "And, I believe, they also have some traditional green beer the Irish drink in honor of St. Patrick's Day." "Oh, I see." Mr. Mendoza took another long sip of his coffee and then said, "There's a few regular customers here too, Pete. Ricky and his mariachi band are here, although they're not playing, just here for the party." "Say, Mr. M," I said to him, "are you really doing okay? Your words are sounding a little slurred." "Oh," Mr. Mendoza replied, "yeah, must be a little too much whiskey." He raised his coffee cup up into the air. "Mr. M, you're drinking whiskey?" "Not exactly, Pete. I've mixed a little into my coffee for flavor on this joyous afternoon. Don't worry, though. I'm not working or anything of the sort that might impair my judgment at the bank where I might hurt myself or someone else. I'm going straight home after the party. Concha's driving me home," he said, taking another sip. "I hope so, Mr. M," I said. "So how about it, Pete? Want to try some of that green beer?" "No, Mr. M, no alcohol for me today." "No, Pete, she's not here," he said suddenly. "Who's that?" "Francie. I thought that maybe you thought she might be here today for her cousin's birthday party." "Oh, actually no, Mr. M. I didn't think she'd be here. But a man can hope, can't he? Hope is a good thing until it becomes a bad thing." I walked up closer to the glass counter and said, "Mr. M, I know you're still upset by Mr. Sosa's death, but there's nothing you could have done to save him, believe me." "Pete, it's just that, well, I knew him for such a very long time. We were almost the same age, him being only 2 years older than me. I mean, it's like a part or time period of my life just died. Some people can die and no one is really affected by it. Like when Johnny the Baracho got hit by that truck and was killed instantly. Almost nobody talked about his passing or his funeral. As a matter of fact, I think the city buried him. I remember reading about it in the newspaper, Pete. Such a tiny little obituary, barely 3 full sentences. And it didn't affect me at all. It's strange, Pete, isn't it? Mr. Sosa's death just came down on me too hard, you understand? I'm an older man now. I can't deal with the death of people close to me like I used to, because there's not that many still alive that I friend with." "Yes, Mr. M, I understand." Mr. Mendoza walked out from behind the glass counter to where I was standing. "Would you like anything to drink, Pete? Other than beer or alcohol, that is," he asked me. Actually, no. I came here for a quick taco, as a matter of fact. But it's okay. I'm on my way home anyway. I'll get something to eat when I get there." "Oh, took the day off from work?" "No, we were a little slow at the store, so Ronnie let me leave a little early today," I answered him. "I just decided to stop by the restaurant for a quick taco or two to take home with me." "Well, Pete, no one's working in the kitchen right now." "Well, I'd better be going, Mr. M. Take care of yourself, okay?" I said, slowly working my way back through the crowd of people. Tejano music played on the old jukebox in the corner of the restaurant. Just then I felt a light tap on my shoulder. "Well, well," I heard a female voice say as I turned around. "¿Qué tal?" "Monica," I said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" "I'm here for my cousin's birthday party. You?" Well, actually I stopped off to see a friend. I didn't know that you were related to Arnold Benavides." "Well, actually I'm not. My mother's Concha's sister." "Oh, I see. So where have you been? I haven't seen you since high school. Did you move or something?" "Actually, Pete, I've been living in Mexico for 6 years now with my parents. I tried college in San Antonio after high school, but I didn't do too well, so I dropped out. I got tired of living in Cananea after I graduated from high school and decided to move to Mexico with my parents for a little while to see what it was like." "Do you like it there?" "Yes, it is very quiet. It is a beautiful country, Pete." "So I hear," I said, smiling. "Don't chiste, okay? It really is a nice country to live in. I didn't mean to make fun. It's just that... What is it, Pete? Nothing. Oh, come on, you can tell me. After all, we used to date a lot, right? Yes, I guess, I said. But it's complicated, that's all. Don't tell me. I already know all about it. About Francie and what happened between you and her. I was stunned. How could she know? I thought to myself. Unless Francie told her. I was starting to feel embarrassed. Yes, Pete, when she moved back to Mexico, she told me all about you. At first, I didn't make the connection at all. I thought that she had just met some guy in Cananea and broke his heart like she does all the guys she meets wherever she goes. Anyway, after I started to think about it some more, I asked her what was the guy's last name. And when she said Escobedo, I just knew it was you. But don't feel bad. She never said a bad word about you. As a matter of fact, she told me that she still loved you very much. But she can never come back now. Why? What happened? Did she get in an accident and... I stopped, afraid of what she might say next. But when the words came out of her mouth, they were more shocking than I had anticipated hearing. She's pregnant. The baby's father was a political radical in Mexico. He was shot and killed the other week. Francie is living with his parents, but no one knows where, not even her mother. Is she alive? I asked her. Like I said, no one knows for sure. But none of this makes any sense, unless... I looked at her for a moment. You're not making this up to get back at me from all those years ago, are you, Monica? Pete, she said, holding up her left hand, see this ring? I'm married now. 5 years, 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. I think about you, sure, but only as a friend, nothing more. I'm happily married now. My husband's got a good job in the new political reform party. Doing what? I don't know, but he gets paid well. We're as happy as can be. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Monica. I really am. I'm sorry I had to tell you about Francie, Pete, but I thought it was for the best, you know? The few times she talked about you made me feel like she really loved you. That's why I had to tell you what happened to her. It's just that, you know, people like Francie live at a breakneck speed all of their lives until they finally burn out. But whatever happens, she'll always love you no matter what. I know she will. I looked down at the floor of the restaurant and noticed that there was new orange and pink tiles beneath my feet. Pete, for all it's worth, you still have the memories of her, right? Sí, I replied. Hasta luego, and walked out through the door.